Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I want to talk to you about how you do not need an attorney in family court. The benefits of it. I have a video on YouTube talking about, I think it's the 4 or 5 reasons why I don't use an attorney. And unless you have speech impediment or a learning disability, you don't need an attorney in family court. Well, let's just start off with this. So people are scared to go to court. I understand it's intimidating. I understand it's scary. I understand it's imposing dealing with the family court system. But, so what? Everything in life is scary, especially if it's new and different. I was rattled and nervous when I went to court, but once I got going, just like, before a ball game or a sales presentation, you get nervous, but once you get into it, if that's what you do, or if you're passionate about it, or if you know the subject matter, you get into it. Bill Russell, the famous, basketball player who played for the Boston Celtics, he used to, reportedly, he threw up before every single game. And he's the greatest sports winner of all time, or one of them. And some people consider him the greatest basketball player of all time, or at least in the top 10. He's on everybody's list. So, being scared or nervous really isn't an excuse to not do what's best for you. When I first went to court, my stuff was chaotic, but it was somewhat, it was about as organized as it could be. My baby's mom first went to court and tried to get an anti-harassment restraining order against me because we argued over my right to see my daughter. And I said, this is going to get ugly. And I really meant we're going to go to court because I was researching, how do I go to court to start enforcing my rights? My daughter was only a few weeks old. And I was talking to a guy from the group Dads Against Discrimination, part of Dads America, dadsamerica.org. You can go and see their website. They're pretty much defunct. They have 10 or 11 chapters. The guys who run it never modified, changed, or deleted their page. But the guy who, is the first guy I saw that I knew he knew what he was talking about. So I jumped all over it because I just had a sense he knew what he was talking about. I had an appointment with him. He was $25 an hour back in 2001. He lived in a little trailer on a plot of land that he was squeezed in between. I don't know if he even rented the land or somebody was hooking him up with the deal, but he's living by meager means, so he's like a Yoda to me. He's out in the woods, doesn't have any money, but has all kinds of insight and wisdom. But I'm still telling you guys 100 times more information for free. Now, I used to have a lot on TikTok. I used to have a lot on Instagram. Both of those got banned. So I've started over with them. I had 14,000 followers on TikTok when I got banned, 5,000 followers on Instagram when I got banned. But I'm still telling you way more than this guy told me. And he encouraged me to fight the way that I fought. I got full custody of my daughter without an attorney when she was 7 months old. If you don't believe me, check out my Flow page link and my winning court documents. That should be enough to prove to you I know what I'm talking about, that it can be done without an attorney. Everything I did was without an attorney, except when I went back to court the second time around, I was worried about going to trial. I didn't know about doing trial yourself back then. I had an attorney, but I wrote all the paperwork. I told him what to say. He was my mouthpiece. He confronted my baby's mom's attorney in the court hallway. They almost had a fight. He couldn't wait to fight him because the guy was talking so much crap that he confronted him and he got him to back down like a little bee. But anyway, one of those court hearings is the transcript is on my Flow page with my winning court documents. I had him. I basically wrote his speech. He was just my mouthpiece at that hearing. But I destroyed the mother, the guardian ad litem. The family law commissioner said, James's attorney did a great job briefing the court. He said, actually, it's my client's work. He wrote it. He goes, well, maybe law school should be the next step for him. He was very impressed with the paperwork that he complimented my attorney and assumed the attorney did it. And then I did it. So I basically did all the work. That's why I tell you guys, when you see everything I talk about, I have experience doing. There was a short period of time I did hire an attorney. My first custody battle, the first 7 months, fighting off a restraining order, a couple of hearings, doing revision, doing contempt. I did that all by myself and destroyed the mother's 17-year experienced attorney. When the mother objected to me relocating 30 miles from Seattle to Tacoma, and she lived in LA, we were going to go to trial. I got scared about trial. I still did all the work. I put 5 trial notebooks together, had 300 plus exhibits, and we were going to put the mother's attorney on the stand, which was going to be fun. But they bailed out because they were bluffing. See, I've been through all this stuff. I've been through everything. That's why you guys should listen to me. But people get mad because I talk harsh, because I'm trying to wake people up that this stuff takes courage, and courage is a decision. It's not a feeling. It's not an emotion. It's not, I'm the bravest person in the world and I'm not afraid of anything. It's I choose to go forward despite the fear and despite what's ahead of me. Now, let's look at this. The average guy ends up getting every other weekend. So unless you're accused of molestation, vicious domestic violence, or child abuse, unless you're accused of all that, you're going to get every other weekend. Why would you pay an attorney $10, $20, $30, $100,000 to walk in and walk out getting something that they're automatically going to give you anyway? Why don't you save thousands of dollars and try and fight differently than your attorney and represent yourself? You could walk into court. I've talked to countless guys who walked into court, walked out of court, said, my attorney didn't really say anything except, please, Your Honor, look at the paperwork and look at us and help my client. Please, please, please. And they were like, I could have said that. You could walk into court with 2 hands tied behind your back and your mouth taped shut and get every other weekend. Why are you paying an attorney $5,000 to $10,000, $20,000 to get what you're automatically going to get? It doesn't make any sense from that standpoint. But on top of that, I stopped counting. I tell you guys over and over, I stopped counting at 300 the number of dads I helped get full custody without a lawyer. I got full custody without a lawyer. I've won in the Court of Appeals twice. When I did a job interview as a paralegal with an attorney in a big high-rise building in downtown Seattle, it was Paul Eagle. I think his first name is Paul. Now he's a pro tem commissioner, backup commissioner. He told me, I went to the Court of Appeals and I got smacked down. I'm never going there again. He was impressed that I won in the Court of Appeals. I got a discretionary review accepted, and I won a reversal in the Court of Appeals. And I could have won a couple more times if I would have went through with some stuff that I started doing and I just kind of got exhausted. So, it's 5 in the morning on the West Coast. My sleep is way off from crazy stuff I've had to deal with. Hopefully I'm going to have a testimony out of something that I'm doing for you guys to add to my little battle scars and my little badge, whatever those badges they have for your military pins and rewards and ribbons and stuff like that. Anyway, you can do this by yourself. I've helped 300 guys get full custody without an attorney. I stopped counting at 300. I keep getting stories back. Oh, I talked to you 2 years ago. I forgot to tell you I got custody. Or, I just had another guy say he got 50-50 in a temporary order, and he was encouraged by my stuff. And so I just don't have, I got so much going on. I don't have time to get all creative and post fancy stuff and things like that. You guys either appreciate the content of what I'm saying and the direction that I'm giving people. If you're one of these people who needs a fancy, pretty, 4K, vivid, you need a pretty smile. You need me to smile real pretty like the lead attorney or something and wear a suit and tie. If that's all you care about and you're going to listen to sellout content like from the lead attorney, then you're not made for this. But if you want to make a decision, it doesn't matter who you are. If you've been afraid all along, if you've been a sissy, if you've been a coward, if you've been afraid of the system, and you keep getting railroaded. If you decide, I'm going to make a choice, I'm going to set aside a year of my life and focus on my kid. Think about somebody who's on a weight loss journey or going back to school. They set aside part of their life. I'm just going to go to work. I'm going to go to school. I'm not going to party. I'm not going to drink and this and that. Me, I've never drank in my life, never done drugs. So it wasn't that hard to make a decision to set aside my life and focus on my daughter in my initial custody battle whenever I went to court. Now, there's mistakes I made that I could go back if I know what I know now, and I had a mentor like me, I would have saved myself a bunch of problems. But You could do this. Nobody has time to spend on your case like you do. Nobody cares about your case like you do. This is your life with your kid. And then you can make a move when you want. You don't have to wait on an attorney. Watch my video on YouTube, the 5 or 6 reasons why I don't get in.